YouTube, and I'm going to be drawing and painting the headless horseman. So I think I've got both chats will work in that chat box that you can see on the bottom right. So everything crossed, it all works. So I am going to start by drawing. I found a reference photo, but I'm going to modify it to suit myself. So I'm just going to get up the reference, and I'm going to change things a little bit. So the horse is rearing up. It's really, really dramatic. So it should be lots of fun to do. So I'm going to start by drawing the horse's head. I'm going to, whoops, hang on. Draw this horse. He looks very dramatic, incredibly dramatic. So I'll start with his face. Now his head is what I will measure the rest of his body against. And he looks quite angry, this horse, because he's a haunted horse. So he needs to look angry. So I'm going to draw his ears back. I just hope I've got enough room on this page. Everything crossed, I've got enough room on this page. I can make him a bit more upright, I think, so that I can fit the horseman in. Okay, so now his head, the headless horseman's head, I'll draw the horse first. I can draw the horseman in last, so I'll pop the horse in first. I'm going to do him in ink as well. Now his head, the headless horseman's head, comes about here and comes down and around there. That's the cape on his top. Oops, there we go. Oh, got to turn my volume off on there. There we go, because I'm watching so I can see the chat next to me. So now he's got, I'll worry about him in a second. I'll get the basic shape of his body in. I'll pop his arm up here. He's got a shirt on. And he's got a cape that comes down the back over the horse. Hey Shane, how are you, mate? I don't know why my screen chat's not working. Oh well, not to worry. How are you, Shane? Or is it? No. Oh, anyway, that's alright. We'll figure that out. I'll go back to... Nope. How are you, Shane? Anyway. Oh, God, I've hit the camera. Don't I do that? There we go. Okay. So I'm live streaming to Twitch and to YouTube today, because they've changed the rules that you can do it now, which is a bit exciting. So I'm on both. Okay. Oh, you did pop up. Yay, it worked. You're doing good. How am I? I'm really good, Dale. I am really good. I am a very happy camper now that I can stream to all my mates on both platforms. And I've missed you guys, and I've got time in the mornings now, so I'm going to try and do this most days, which is exciting. So I've got this reference actually just off a generic site, but I'm changing it enough so that it becomes my artwork. I've just got the inspiration from the piece. So I'm going to change it to suit myself. I hope he fits. So his head is 1 time the length of his neck, so I've got that right. His leg is the length of his head. How's your mum, Dale? So his head and his leg and his leg. Okay, so I've got the proportions right for the front part of his body, this horse. And I'm going to do him in ink. Is the plan. So I'll draw this other leg down a bit lower. And I've got my cup of tea here, so you'll have to remind me to drink my cup of tea, Shane. What time is it there in England? Must be late. Okay, pop that leg down here like that. I love drawing horses. I've just refound my passion for them. Oh yeah, got a very important question. Do you have your coffee? I do. I've got a cup of tea. I'm onto the tea now. But yes, I do. I have my cup of tea, so my world is happy. All right. Now, it's 9 p.m. Oh, it's not too late. That's good. What is it now? It is, oh, hang on, what time is it now? 8 o'clock in the morning here. Very weird drawing a person without a head, I have to say. Now, his arm is the same length as the horse's head. So I've actually got that by eye at about the right height. I've got his elbow in a bit the wrong spot, but that's okay. He's got a sleeve on, so we're not going to worry too much. And I'm going to draw him with his sword, sort of this way. Draw his sword like that. Ooh. Got to get the shape on it right. I've got him very close to the top of the page. And then he's got the protector thingy. I forgot what that's called. The shieldy thingy on the sword. Comes down there. I should know because my husband's a blacksmith and me and my daughter make swords and stuff. So, you can only, hang on, I've just got to drop that down a fraction on the camera there, like that, so you can see. Oh, get my light out of the way. Okay, we're good. So you can see him a little bit better. And then his cape comes all the way down. Now, his shirt, he's got quite a lovely shirt on for a dead person. And a vesty thing, like a, what do you call that? Yeah, it is a vest. A vest. This is going to be hard because he's facing like he's got no head, so it's really hard to get perspective. Okay, then I'm going to draw his waistband thingy, his cravat, and his trousers, and he's got lovely boots. And now his legs are the same length as his arms, so I'll just mark that. And I actually draw his leg a bit forward because he's balancing the horse. Because I've ridden horses all my life, and when they're rearing up, you lean forward and you have your legs forward to help counterbalance them if they're being grumpy horses. So I'll draw him correct to how you're actually supposed to ride them when they're doing that. And he's got these beautiful boots on that I'll pop on. I will use the boots in the picture, like that. And I'm going to do this in ink. And yeah, as you can see, I've measured everything against the head. So the man's body is the length of the head of the horse, the man's leg is the length of the head, the horse's legs, the top and the bottom half are the lengths of the head. So everything, I gauge all my perspective against each other part of the body. Now, I can't see the saddle properly, but I'm going to give him an English saddle because he's an English rider. And I know those very well too because I've had a few of those over the years. Give him an all-purpose sort of a saddle. And then get the stirrup there. The girth comes around there, like that. Now, let's have another look. Okay, looking good. I've got to give that saddle a bit more shape. I'll fix that up in a minute. I'll adjust that in a second. I've got to get the horse's rump in, like that. The man's cape coming down over the back, like that. And I'll draw his legs. I could have him sort of sitting almost. I can have the horse rearing up but have his legs tucked sort of under. Now his legs, again, the top part of his leg is the length of his head. And the bottom part of his leg, again, the length of his head. So I take all of that measure all of that against each part like that. And then we're going to go in with dip pen and ink, because you know what? It's Halloween and I love ink and traditional art. The ink suits this piece very well, I think. Ink will suit this piece very well because it's dramatic. And I love a bit of drama. I love drama. Yesterday I drew, I'll draw his tail down here too. Yesterday I drew a chariot race, which was so much fun. Or not a chariot race, I do one chariot with 4 horses pulling it, and it was so much fun. So I was inspired again to get a bit of drama in my piece, in my drawing. And I thought, what, because it's actually Halloween here in Australia. It is the 31st today. So I know in most other parts of the country it's not quite there yet. But I couldn't help myself. I had to do a Halloween themed piece. Could not help myself. So now I'm going to draw the reins. They go round, they're loose because he's only got them by one hand. Like that. Oops. Squiggly lines. And I'm just going to do him completely in ink. I think. So I'm going to get my dip pen handy. Grab my little palette. Where's my little palette? There it is, my little bowl that I use for my ink. Right here, I got this at the little $2 shop. Very handy little bowl. And I'm going to get my ink. I'm going to get myself organised. Get some ink into my bowl. I've got fresh water. Get my bit of cloth. I'm so excited to draw this piece. It's just such fun to draw sort of themed artwork. And I'm going to colour him in. I'll fill him in as well, but I'll fill him in with just ink, but just different tones of grey ink. I'll draw his eye facing back because the horse is sort of looking back. And then I've got to get the expression. This horse looks angry because he's grumpy because he's an undead horse, I suppose. Anyone in chat, have you seen this movie? Have you seen Sleepy Hollow with I've gone completely blank on his name. Brilliant movie. Brilliant movie. Loved it thoroughly. Had some very big name actors in it. But very dramatic movie too. Dark and wonderful. Okay, so I'll draw his mane. I didn't draw the noseband. I should draw the noseband as well on this horse. I might do that. We'll see how we go. Doesn't really matter if he has a noseband or not. Okay, and I love this is a Tachikawa dip pen. One of my favourite dip pens. I've got to order another one actually. I got it from Asia because Asia's close to us. Came from Japan, I think actually. I ordered it direct. So I've got to get another one because it is a beautiful, well-balanced dip pen. And the nibs on it really hold a lot of ink. It's a medium-sized nib that I use. You can get all different sizes. You can get them here anywhere. But it came with a box of nibs, and I've only used 2 nibs out of the whole box. And I've had the pen for 2 years. So really good value if anyone wants a dip pen. A really nice quality one. Yeah, called Tachikawa. So draw the mane. It's got a big, sweeping, beautiful mane. Very dramatic. Like that. And then come down the back here. I love trying to get the expression on the animals. So come down here. Let's have another quick look at his chest and how his proportions are. I've got my camera over there to the left so I can see the reference photo a bit more clear. Come down around there like that. Draw his chest muscle, his shoulder muscle. Now go on to the legs. I'm going to try and do a lot of detail because this picture just warrants it. I'm going to even draw in the background. There's a fence with Sleepy Hollow written on it, so I will try and draw that fence with Sleepy Hollow written on it as well. I'll add that in. So I'll do ink washes over the top. Get that hoof on there. Has he got shoes on? You can't see he's a barefoot horse. He doesn't have shoes on, the horse. Because a lot of times horses will have little metal shoes on. My husband and daughter are blacksmiths, so helps protect their feet against the rocks, and they did that even in medieval times. Okay, now get that hoof in there. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. Quite happy with that. Now, I'm having a look at the proportions. I'm going to draw, now his arm disappears off behind his mane, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. I can add more detail onto his clothing now that I've got everything where I want it. That's his vest. The collar of his cape actually. So there's actually a tie here. So I'll draw that tie in. And then he's got his shirt, which has got crisscross bits there. So draw those on. And draw his torso. I'll give him a buckle. Nice dramatic sort of medieval kind of buckle. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So Gorilla Dillat the sequel. Welcome. So on my Twitch channel, I thought you guys might be able to see that on there, but because I'm Twitch streaming to YouTube as well. So welcome and thank you. Much appreciated. So now I'm going to draw his trousers and his boots. Now I'm going to change the angle of his boot just a little bit because I've got slightly the wrong angle on there. And there's a turn down top like that on the top of his boots. And they're beautiful boots actually. They're medieval looking and they've got big buckles to do them up at the sides or to support them. The strap that comes around here like that. So draw that on. Come down and around. Draw his toe in the stirrup like that. Okay. Looking pretty cool. Now I've got his hand on all of the wrong angles. So I'm going to change that now. I can do that. So I'm going to pour his thumb there. And then his other fingers. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to just have that coming. Hands, struggle. And because I'm drawing him, I sort of wanted to fit him in. So I've changed the angle of his arm and his hand from the reference picture. There we go. And I'll give him his cuff on his sleeve. There. The headless horseman. Yes, hello Paranoid. How are you, doll? Yep, I thought today for Halloween I would draw the headless horseman because it's Halloween here in Australia already. We're the 31st now. Give him a beautiful big sword. Going around chopping up pumpkins. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it. I do love the headless horseman. It's one of my favourite. Well, what's the movie? Sleepy Hollow was the movie. One of my favourite movies. Love it. With Johnny Depp. He played it so well. He was can't remember the dude's name, but he was the policeman in the movie, and he did it so well. From Canada. My son-in-law's Canadian. My wonderful son-in-law Nathan. So we have a Canadian in our family, so I'm very lucky. We have a few Canadians in our family because we've got all his family in my family now. And they're a gorgeous bunch of people. Very gentle, soft-spoken. Love Canadians. One day when I grow up, I will go to Canada. I would love to go there for a holiday. One day. You've got the most beautiful scenic countryside I've ever seen, and bears and wildlife. And I love your wildlife. And because obviously wildlife artist. Okay, so now I can do a bit more detail on the saddle. So I've got to draw the saddle in, but I've also got to draw the saddle blanket. I want to get as much detail in as I can. I'll draw the back of the saddle. I'm just going to adjust that a little bit from what I had. There's the support that goes under, the padding that goes under the saddle to support onto the horse. Balance out your weight. Then the stirrup comes down here, down here, like that. Draw the strapping. And then like that. Okay, so we got the stirrup. Unfortunately, I woke up to some white stuff on my grass. It's too soon for snow lol. Oh, wow. We're actually coming into summer here, where our weather's starting to pick up, get warmer. So I love winter though. But you guys do snow properly. We don't get snow like you get snow, that's for sure. My son-in-law was telling me stories about the snow in Canada and how deep it gets. And nothing here ever is that like that. You guys do snow properly. We just do fluff, literally just fluff, and it stays fluff. Okay, I'm just going to come down here, draw this rein down and around. But snow must be beautiful. I mean, we get snow here where I am, but it's not thick. It doesn't, like you can't ski or anything. It sits on the ground and melts pretty quick because Australia's very warm. Oh, I smudged my saddle. Doesn't matter. At least I smudged it in the best spot. Numbness saddle pad. No, it's an English saddle. It's like an all-purpose saddle. But I'm just going to draw the saddle blanket on it now. I forgot the saddle blanket. You're a horse person. You know what a numbner is. You must be a horse person. Because, no, I had a numbness saddle pad from one of my kids, actually. Okay. I might just fill in that base of that saddle there anyway. Draw a D on there. Okay, he doesn't have a chest plate. No, he doesn't have a chest plate on. Okay. So now, and I live on a farm and we have a few horses still. I don't ride anymore. I used to ride, but I don't ride anymore. So I'm just going to draw, but we still have the horses. They're retired. Did a little pony club too. Oh, nice. Very good. Yeah, like they were the best memories. Best memories, pony club and all that sort of stuff, an adult riding club. Good fun. All my best friends now are my horse riding friends. You have a horse too? Cool. Yeah, we've got a Clydesdale and 2 quarter horses and 2 miniature ponies. Okay, come back down here. Draw his legs and come down into here. Draw this leg. So what are your horse's names, Dale? Or horse's name? I'll draw his hooves on the ground because I didn't draw his hoofs in the initial drawing, so I better draw those on. Because without hooves he's not going far. Okay, I'll draw his tail. Actually, I'll draw the cape in first because the cape is draped around the back and that covers the tail partially. Right, so that's there, and then the tail comes down and I'll add the swirly bits like that. He's 22 and going strong. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And we've got a Clydesdale here at the moment and she's late teens. She's probably 18 or 19. And Honey, my little quarter horse, is 16. And then Denny, our other quarter horse, is probably 10. And his tail's sitting on the ground, so I'm just going to draw that. I'm going to actually add in now a bit more background. I'm going to add a bit of a fence and the sign, Sleepy Hollow, and it's a rickety, broken down picket fence. So I'm just going to add that in just roughly, splintered wood and all, like that. So it looks really moody and awesome. And there's actually a moon up here in the background, so I might even try and draw that in. And I'll do very soft washes of ink, just in black ink, over the whole lot. And I'll do that one a bit jaggedy, like that. There we go. Hitched him up to my marathon carriage. Oh, and he was perfect, even after being not being driven. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's amazing. My family are horse and cart people, and I live in a country town that not that long ago, like about 20 years ago, I used to ride to the shops and ride to the supermarket, and I used to ride to the video shop and go and get my DVD on my horse. I'd ride down, tie her up at the front, jump off, grab my shopping, grab my DVD, and then ride home again. Those were I don't do it anymore. I mean, I've got friends who still do, but it's a bit dangerous now with all the trucks and cars and stuff. But yeah, I live in a little country town that was part of the lifestyle, which was pretty awesome. I was very blessed to be able to do that. And quite often we'd ride to pubs and stuff for lunch, and me and my husband and my friends would all ride to the pub. And yeah, my father-in-law used to drive his horse to the pub. Him and his mates would all jump in the cart with the esky and drive to the pub. Okay, now I'm happy with that. I've got to draw a bit more detail. I'm going to draw some detail on his shirt because he has some beautiful detail on his vest. So I'll draw that in. And he's got some buttons down here. I know I probably don't need to go into this much detail, but it's really good fun. It is good fun. And he's got creases in his shirt. So we'll pop those in. Right, we're going to go now in with ink wash. So I'm going to grab my other little palette that I'm going to sit right here. And I'm going to dilute, that's ink from the other day, naughty me, I didn't wash my palette. So, which I will do after. And I'm going to grab one of my watercolour brushes, and first and foremost, I'm going to do, actually I didn't draw the moon, I'm going to draw the moon in here. I really hope this works, because if I ruin it, I'll be really sad. But it doesn't matter. So I'm going to draw the moon up here, behind his hand, because it's a full moon, right there. Full moon, right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to do very diluted ink wash on the background. So I'm going to grab a big brush because I need to get this done fast because ink dries way faster than watercolour. Here's Faisies. Hello, Faze. How are you, doll? Can you guys see that on my chat? Yes, awesome. Because I've set up my YouTube chat. I can see both chats, so everyone can see both chats now. Okay, so I should erase the background. Got to erase the background first. Get rid of the pencil marks. Where's my eraser? There it is. Okay. Go stay away from the wet parts. Go to the dry parts. Oh, it's still damp. Bugger. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do a background anyway. Maybe I won't be erasing all those lines just yet. Okay. That's all right. All right. So, I'm going to draw in the background first. Or, sorry, wash in the background first. Got a bit too much water on my brush there. Bit of splashage. And I'm going to cut around the outside edge of this wonderful looking horse. And he'll be like maybe 2 tones darker. May I ask why there is a random yellow square there? What do you mean a random yellow square? I can't see any random yellows. Oh, that's the camera. That's my video camera that I use to film. If I was recording, it would be a red square because my camera that I stream with is a Handycam. And I don't know how to remove the box. So you've got a box, I'm afraid. Yes, because I'm not good at technology. And I don't know how to get rid of it. Or if you can even. So there you go. That's what that is, Faze. That's me not being very good at technology. So yeah, ink dries much faster and is far less movable than watercolour. Watercolour, if you make a mistake, you can lift it off, you can pick it up, unless you get it instantly with ink, you can't lift it. Whatever mistakes there is there, and it's there to stay, like my little smudges, which doesn't matter because you can, if you're careful and you smudge in the right spot, you can cover them. Like I did that yesterday on my I did a, what's it called, a chariot, and I made a mistake, but I managed to cover it with the background. Art room, are you using watercolor paper? Yes, I am. I'm using where is it? Arches hot press. Arches hot press, and the medium weight. So it's quite a thick paper. I use it for everything. I use it for drawing. I just love Arches paper, and it's because it's archival, it lasts forever. So if you do a picture on it, it'll still be there in 100 years. So I always try to work with the best products I can. Pardon me. I also have something, wifey baked soul cookies. Nice. She doesn't like raisins, so she used the dried cranberries. Nice. And the traditional accompaniment, a glass of milk. Lovely. That sounds delicious, actually. Hello, Joe. How are you? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are drawing and painting with ink the headless horseman today for Halloween, which is lots and lots and lots of fun because I love drawing horses and I love using ink. So two of my favourite things. I woke up this morning and I'm like, what do I want to draw and what do I want to paint? And then I thought, it's Halloween. I'll go Halloween. And I thought, draw a pumpkin? Nah. I won't draw a pumpkin. I'll draw something wild. So headless horseman it is. I've got to get some more ink. So I've got to be careful not to make my ink too dark. I've got to be careful to try and keep the same consistency. I didn't mix enough. So I've got to mix some more up. Do a test down here. It does. Oh, no, perfect. I've got it the right consistency. Because if it was a bit darker on the ground, it wouldn't hurt. Because I want to try and keep the background a uniform colour. I'll leave the moon, the white of the paper. So any of the lightest parts will be the white of the paper. Your horses are wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love drawing horses. They're one of, my very first memory ever is drawing a horse. I don't ever remember in my whole life not drawing horses. They're my passion. All right, draw the gap in here. And I've actually, yeah, I've still got some of my childhood drawings. My dad was a lovely drawer. He drew lots of people. But I've got my grand uncle from my grandmother's brother was an artist, and he painted the most beautiful horses that I've got hanging in my living room was their family horses in 1912. So they're well over 100 years old, those paintings, and I love them. Moon, hello, how are you? Finally caught a stream live. Yes, I haven't been doing that many. I've been trying. I've finally found a good balance, and now Twitch allows you to stream, to multi-stream. I can actually do both because I didn't have time to do both. So it's wonderful now that Twitch has allowed live streaming, multi-streaming. So you should do that too, Moon. Because Resonant Moon is a wonderful, wonderful artist and a really, really lovely person who streams on Twitch and also has a YouTube channel. So if you've got, Moon, if you want to, pop your link in the chat so people can follow your channel. Because I've known Resonant Moon for a long time on Twitch. And yeah, gamer, artist, all the things. Because I love games as well. Okay, come down back here. I'm leaving the moon as the background, as the light of the background, the light of the paper. And then I come down here. So that's the background pretty much blocked in as a light background. I've been watching your YouTube videos, which is nice. Oh, thank you. Been watching all your Inktober's. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, I've had fun with this Inktober. I actually got done a bit ahead of time so I could really enjoy the process, and like so I did a few in a day, and then what do you call it? Hold them all so that they uploaded themselves automatically, just to take the pressure off with work and everything. But I managed to get it all done, and I actually did a couple. So yesterday I did two. I did for what was the prompt yesterday? The prompt yesterday was not speed, not fast. It was, I can't remember. Oh my god, I did a chariot anyway. I did a greyhound racing and a chariot. Okay, now I've got to let that background dry a fraction, but I can work on the saddle. So the saddle's very dark. So I'm going to go in with almost pure ink onto the saddle and fill that in. I don't want to get it too runny because it'll run and it will go everywhere I don't want it to go. So all this is going to be is multiple tones. So this is a great one. If you struggle with tonal work, just doing a black and white piece can make, it's great practice because you'll get all your different tones. So the background's the lightest, then the horse will be mid-tones, the saddle's the darkest. Rush! That was the one. Thank you, Moon. Thank you, Moon. I think my favourite art piece is the Hermit so far, but my octopus was also a lot of fun. Oh, cool! I shall have to, honestly, I shall have to check them out. I haven't, but I will. I haven't, but I will. And also, another amazing artist, Moon, you should do this too. There's a challenge. Hang on. When I'm drawing, my words leave my head. Trying to think and talk. My thoughts go straight to the picture. It'll come to me in a second. There's a challenge on at the moment with. Oh, for goodness sake, hang on. I'm just going to Google. I'm just going to go onto my thing. Dina Tollefson. Dina Tollefson. She's on here on YouTube. She does an art challenge every month, and this month's art challenge is farm. Sorry, so I'm thinking moon is farm. So you can draw anything that you want to do with the farm. It can be an animal, it can be the crops, it can be a fruit, it can be anything to do with the farm. And she does a prompt every month, and it's great for inspiration. Thanks, Moon. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Did no contact grocery pickup. Nice. Oh no, you need to rest, mate. You need to rest. You don't want to be doing pickups and overdoing it, though. So now that background's dry, I can go up here, and the inside of his collar on his cape is the darkest dark too. So I've got to be very careful that I get my tones right. So I'm just doing the darkest darks that I can see while I've got the saddle. I've done the saddle. Actually, I'll do the girth as well. Okay. Fill in the girth. Or in the US, you call them a cinch, I think. Okay. So do that quite dark. I can do the stirrup as well. Okay, and I'll leave the actual stirrup iron as the light of the paper. Right, quite happy with that. Like Dina challenges too, cool. Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic, and I really get excited when I see something she's done. She's got up. It's nice something to aim for, and you get to meet people too who do the challenges, which I love. I've met a few gorgeous people. Okay, now, well that's a bit dark, so I'm going to wet my brush, add some water and take that around the outside edge, and that's just like half a tone lighter than the saddle. I don't want it all completely blend in. I can actually go over the saddle again if I want to make it darker, which I may do, undecided. Now his cape's going to be almost black underneath. Here's the octopus when you get a minute. Cool, I shall check it out in a minute. Okay, so now, whoops, get some more ink up here. Right, so I am going to carefully, the outer line of his cape is very dark. So I'm going to come down with the tip of my brush, and I'm just using a watercolour brush. And his cape comes right down there. Hear my little dog, he's starting to sook, he wants to go outside. I think I should open the door in a second, but I'll finish this cape first because I don't want to end up with lines. because otherwise I'll end up with dry lines, like tide marks. And I don't want to end up with a tide mark on his cape. What ink are you using? I am using Daler Rowney ink. I'll show you the tub, the thingy in just a second. I'll just quickly whiz this cape. It's really affordable. I'm not sure how you go about getting it overseas, but it's a lovely quality ink. Yes, I use Daler Rowney or I use Senelia ink, which I can also get quite readily. Okay, now I'll show you. So, this is it. So it's Daler Rowney FW acrylic ink. And I've got a multitude of colours. So, your washi tape doesn't stick well when I use it. Okay, I use cello tape or cello tape. I find is the best. So I tried washi tape. I wasn't a fan. I've got washi tape, but yeah, cello tape is tough. You just got to be careful that you stick it to your trousers or stick it to a tabletop a couple of times to take the extra sticky off, because it can tear your paper if you're not careful, which I have done a few times. So I'm going to do the back of his collar there. I'm going to leave. I've got to let my dog out. Just bear with me a second. I'm just going to pop up and let my little dog out. He's having a sookie lala. Come on. Oh, actually, I'll put my paintbrush down. I'll be 2 seconds. The hallway door. I've just got to open that. Come on, Bear Bear. I'll show you Bear Bear first. Come and say hello, Bear Bear. This is Bear Bear. Say hello to everyone, Bear Bear. This is Bear Bear. He's my little best friend. And, yes, he's got to go outside. I'll be right back. I'll just drop him over the back fence, over the gate, just here in my hallway. And he can run around and go outside then. And he'll bark at me when he wants to come back. There we go. Rightio. Okay. But have you posted the paintings yet? Hang on. There on stick around. Here's an octopus. Adrian doesn't stick with it. He's got it. I was going to ask you brief. Oh yes. So I stick them to my jeans and stuff. Paintings. Which paintings? Oh, of course. Oh my God. I completely forgot. No, I haven't. I completely got sidetracked. There's been a few other things going on. I have them put aside, but I haven't posted them. So I will. I'm so sorry. Got completely sidetracked. But I will. In the next little while. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, goodness. Okay. Now, I'm going to draw his mane. The background's dry now. And I'm not going to make it completely solid. I'm going to... That's right, because I painted the bears and everything. I've got a few more, actually. I did a few more after that. You inspired me. So I've got a few to send you, which I will in the next little while. Okay. Now, his mane comes right down there. I know, did one of your doggos pass since we last... No, I have 2 dogs. Pippi can't come up when I stream, though, because she barks at me the whole time. She's a little terralera, and she wants my undivided attention, and she doesn't like it when I talk to the camera. I'm not talking to her, so she barks at me. Okay, we'll watch the replay off to bed. No worries. You have a good night, doll. Sleep well. Thank you for popping in. I will post those pictures tomorrow, so they should get to you in about a fortnight. Usually takes a couple of weeks to get overseas. A good couple of weeks. So I will send them tomorrow. I will write a note. Send Joe's pics. Where's my bit of paper? There we go. That'll do. So, yeah, Pippi's down in the other end of the house. I just can't let her out because... Send Joe's paintings. Okay. Done. I will have those in the mail tomorrow. I was concerned. Yeah, no, she's good. She's good. She's just a little terror. And she's taken to barking at me the whole time. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go over this horse and I'm going to start pale. Whoops. Add a bit more water. Start pale and build up in the shadows. But I want it darker than the background, but lighter than the cape and his mane. I don't want to get it on any other part of the painting. So this is the fun of working with tones, with monotone. You can really practice your shadows and your shades, because it's all about your tones. Any painting, doesn't matter if you do it in blue, purple, pink, yellow, green, whatever, as long as you've got the right tones, it'll look right. Okay, tonal values are super important. You can see I missed a part of his cape there. I'll add that in a second. And always use, especially with ink, use your brush strokes in the direction of the fur, because ink shows the line marks. Watercolour, you can blend it, but ink, you see the strokes. So always remember to follow the direction, actual direction of whatever the fur on the animal is. I've got that way too dark. I've got to get some more water on my brush while that's still damp and drag that down. Get a bit more water on my brush and drag that down. Okay. I can hear Bear now. He wants to come back in. I'll have to go get him in a second. He has separation anxiety, the little bear. So again, following the direction, I wanted to go a fraction darker. You see I've got that just a little bit too light. And again, following the direction that the fur would go and the muscle lines would go. There we go. I can do that underneath one a little bit darker. Being careful not to spread it into the background. Like that. You can hear him. Can you hear him? I'm going to have to go and get him, I think. I'll be right back. We lost nothing much. Oh, that's sad. I'm so sorry, doll. Hang on, I'm just going to grab Bear. Come here, Bear. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come here. Come on, Bear. No, Pippi, you can't come in. Sorry, mate. Because all you do is bark at me. You can stay there and guard the house. Okay. Bear's back. Pippi was trying to come in. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that, doll. That's no good at all. Okay. Now, I am going to... Gee, it's a warm day here. I'm actually getting a bit hot. Okay. It's supposed to be raining, but it's not. I'm going to do the same on the back part of the horse. And the fur goes down. I'm going to leave his boots. And I'm going to leave the stirrup iron. Again, following the direction of the fur. He's a beautiful black horse. That's why I thought this would be a fun one to do in ink. Again, do the body of the horse. And I'm literally just using the one ink. I'm just diluting it. He's got a bit bubbles in it. I've got a bit of bubbles in there. Doesn't matter though. It could be a flaw in the paper. It does happen occasionally. Righto. Whoops. Try not to go outside the lines. And then take that onto that leg. It's okay. We can get more cats once we've moved. Oh, where are you moving to? Where are you moving to, doll? I hope everyone else can see the chat box up there. I put that up so you can all see the Twitch and YouTube, because that way you can all communicate with each other. Because this is multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube, because I love both. And it's two communities that would make awesome mates, I think. Be great friends. And now I can do both. It's awesome. There's just some slight differences. On Twitch, you can get donations and bits and things. So if you hear the odd alert that sounds a bit weird, I can explain that to you. You can see both sets of comments. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, that's why I set the chat box up, because I don't think you can see them on the actual channel. But yeah, I'd love you guys to get to know each other, because you're all awesome. Okay. Now I can darken up the hooves. Darken up the hooves. And I've got to draw some shrubbery in under his feet and stuff, because he's not just on, he's on grass, but it's all black, so it's all fine. We can do that. Now, okay, so he's basically blocked in. He's basically blocked in. Not found it yet. Okie doke. Now I'm going to draw some grass. It's going to use the pure ink like that and just draw that around underneath. Make it completely shadowed underneath his hooves like that. Okay, and the pickets are quite dark, so I'll do them maybe, I'll add a little bit more ink to the pickets. You can see it's drying in the palette already. Okay, I don't want it quite that solidly dark. Okie doke. So now I come in and paint these pickets. Paint these pickets like that. Alright, whoops. And I'll do shadows underneath. I'm going to come right around the length of them. Got to keep a tab on the time, tons of time, because I've got to go to work after. But I'm going to try and do these streams most days to both channels. So I would love it. If anyone's got suggestions, pop them in the chat below. If you're on Twitch, pop over to YouTube, pop in the chat what you would like to see me draw or paint, and I'm more than happy to have a try. I'd love suggestions. I love inspiration. So if anyone wants to give me suggestions, I would love you to pop that in my chat, in my comments over on YouTube. That would be wonderful. So that way I can read my comments and then find references to create pieces for you all. And I might set up some kind of a competition so that you can win a painting and I can send it. I've got to figure out how to do that though. But we will get there. I've got all these ideas of things I want to do. Now I'm going to come down and around. I was filling in the reins. The bridle's quite dark, so I'll fill in the reins. Come up here onto the bridle. You can still see the underline drawing, which I quite like. I like to see the drawing. I love watching people draw. There's another YouTuber actually that I absolutely adore watching draw. And I've gone completely blank because I'm drawing, my brain stops thinking and I can't think. Oh my goodness, hang on. I'll find it. Hang on. I watched her videos this morning actually when I woke up. Go to subscriptions. She does Inktober too. Let's go just Google Inktober because my brain has gone completely blank. Search, YouTube, search. My fingers are Inktober. Hers will come up for sure. She did the most amazing parachutist for Rush. And where is it? There she is. Sandrine's gallery. Yeah, she does amazing drawings. I love watching her art. She does detail that you would not, but like she's freaky good at detail. Now, speaking of such things, I'm going to start to do the clothing. I'm going to go in diluted, really diluted, almost as pale as the background, except I've got too much ink on my brush. So I'm just going to add water. Keep adding water while it's still wet, and that'll dilute like that. There we go. So I want it like a tone lighter than under the cape. The vest. The shirt's quite light, so I'm going to leave that. The shirt sleeves, he's just wearing a vest. Go a tone lighter for his band on his belly, so just add water, pretty much just add water, and his trousers. Now his boots are dark. I'll add shadows as well once that's dry. I will add shadows as well once that's dry. I'm just going to literally dip my brush into the water to add the shadows on his sleeve. I'm not even going to worry about adding any ink to that because there's enough ink in the water itself to create a tone, the palest tone. There we go. Now, his boots, I'll add the light tone first and then I'll build up with layers. Try and leave that stirrup. While that's still damp, I'll add in a touch of ink, and that'll flow around like watercolour, but just at the back of the boot, and let it flow to the front and underneath like that. And that creates that effect, which is a bit of fun. And I'll also do it on the belt. And I'll just create like a pattern on the belt. I can, now that the shirt's dry, I can do his buttons, draw his buttons in. And he's got, create shadow there. So I'm just going to add a bit of ink to his back of his vest, and then I'm going to drag that down like that. And come down here. Now I'm going to darken up the saddle pad a little bit, because it needs to be a little bit more contrast against the horse. Right, let's have a look. Okay, now I've got to start to add the shadows on the horse. So, clean my brush, get some more ink, make it a fraction thicker, and I'm going to go, whoops, too much. It's a balance here. I should have a test piece of paper so I can test the tones, but I don't. So now I'm starting to add the shadows on the horse to create muscles, to create three-dimensionality. Now he's super dark in his ears. I had the muscles on his neck, so they've got creases there. He's got a beautiful big muscle coming down here, one under his gullet that goes all the way down to his chest. And come around his eye, like that. Alright. Now having a quick look at the reference. Now his offside leg, so his right leg, which is the one furthest away, is in shadow, so it's going to be like 2 tones darker than the rest of him. So I go back into my ink. I want the side closest to us to be the lightest, and the furthest away the darkest, and that's what creates helps to create the three-dimensional effect. Whoops, there we go. Come down here like that. And as that dries, I can add slightly more layers. So there you go. So that creates the shadow on that one. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with this hind leg. The furthest hind leg away. Like that. Okay. So that's the shadow on that leg. And I can go back in, and also he'll have shadow under his tummy. Whoops, that's way too dark, but that's okay. I'll just add water to my brush. Add water to my brush and drag it out, and that will dilute it. And because his tummy's in shadow as well. Coming up into there, into his stifle, in that area. Now, I can also start to draw little details, like the back of his knee. He's got some fur discoloration, sort of around here. There's a shadow coming up under his girth, under his saddle pad. I need to darken his saddle pad. And I've got to add muscle definition on his legs. So he's got muscle there, where his leg's tucked up. I'm going to wet my brush and drag that out. I don't want it to be a harsh line. And then he's got a muscle coming down here on this leg, like that. Then he's got his hock joint there, a tendon there. Okay, that's helping. He's getting there, starting to get there. Right, let's have a look. Now I've got to colour in the sword. I'm just going to colour the blade with what I've got on my brush. I will leave that handle part, because that's actually steel. I'll leave that. You can't really see that in my reference because it's under that little blob of stuff the camera. I don't know how to make it go away. I'll have to ask my son-in-law how to make that go away. And then come in here. And now I'm going to go in with the darkest darks onto the horse to create even more definition and texture and all that fun stuff. Come back in here like that. Oops, there we go. A bit on his tail as well. Strengthen that up, especially right in close to his legs. That'll create the contrast with his tail and his legs. Like that. Again, watching the direction that it's going. Okay. Now, I'm going to darken. Whoops, a daisy. Got way too much on there. Doesn't matter. I'll just make that rail thicker. Not a problem. And let's create the shadow underneath these rails, because the moonlight's creating shadow. And then the back of the posts. And you see that makes them look more realistic. There we go. Just like that. So that gives them that three-dimensional-ish look. Now I'm going to go back into the shadow areas on this horse even darker and create even more shadow in the back parts of his legs where he's in his deepest shadow, and under there onto his girth, like that. Get a bit more on my palette. Oops, I've got ink all over my desk. Excuse me, Bear. Come down here, back of his hoof. Now I'm going to do his hooves. I can rest my hand on the paper now it's dry. I went to work yesterday after I'd done a picture and I didn't realise I had ink that I hadn't got off all over the back of my hand. Okay, come down here like that. Okay, we're getting there. He's looking good. Looking good. I'll do the darkest dark on the very bottom of his belly, coming up into his flank, and then right into this dark part on the inner side of his thigh, down to his hock, like that. Around there, draw his hoof on both feet in the pure black, like the darkest black you can get. And then I'm going to darken up. I'm going to put a pattern on his saddle pad, because it just needs a little bit of something something. So I'll give him a checker pattern on his saddle pad, like that. Create a bit of interest on that. Now let's have a look. Now I can go super duper dark, the pure black, no water or very little, enough water to make the ink move, and that's it. Like, you know, the darkest dark you can get with the ink into his darkest areas now, which would be like his chin, the iris on his eye, his ear, a bit more on his mane maybe. Really darken that up. The dark at the bottom part of his blade. Trying to keep my brush, I'm using the very tip of my brush. Doesn't matter if I go out of the line a little bit, I can actually just thicken up the blade a little bit like that. Underneath his wrist, anywhere that would be darker, would be in shadow. Under his arm, under that arm, like that. Okay. Now I'll put a bit of his mane coming around his ear as well. He needs a bit of darkness there, like that. I'll darken up the bottom of his bridle, like that, and the bottom of his reins, like that. So it's just a matter of building up your lights to dark exactly the same. I treat ink exactly the same as watercolour. I work light to dark and darkest parts last. So he is not that far from done. Right now it's just fiddling. I'm going to darken up the rest of this leg. I'm going to add some water. It'll dry maybe a tone, 2 tones lighter. It won't stay flat black like that. And I'll add that also to the inside of this front leg. create that contrast, like beautiful contrast. I love contrast. I'll add that shadow under his saddle blanket as well. A bit more on his muscles, coming around here like that. He's got some muscles there, he's got a muscle there. Just define those a little bit more, and I am going to call that, I reckon, when he's got a dip in behind his eye there. So I reckon I'm going to call that done. I'm going to sign it. I'm going to take the tape off. So I'm going to go, I'll sign it down here, over black on black, like that. My name, and 2023. And I'm going to call that done. So let's take the tape off and see what he looks like. Trying not to rip my paper. See, it lifts a little bit, but it doesn't matter because that'll go on a frame anyway. So there we go. Take the edges off. And we are done. So, thank you so much, everyone on YouTube and on Twitch, for hanging out and for watching. You are all awesome. I will be turning this into a time lapse as well. So it will also be, it'll be on, I'll leave it up on my live, on my YouTube channel, but you can also see it here on my VODs on Twitch. Yeah, and I'll turn it into a time lapse. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here. I am going to now on Twitch, because of Twitch, we find someone to, they call it raiding. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to see who's live, and then we take anyone who's with me on Twitch to that channel. So, because Twitch is, because I'm live streaming to both, I'll explain how it works as well. I've just got to find my Twitch stream on here, Twitch, and then pop over there, see who's streaming, and we'll go and hang out with whoever's on. Oh, okay. So we've got a few. We are going to go and raid Margot Simone Art, I think. She's sketching tree people. That sounds like fun. Let's do that. Okay, so anyone on YouTube, thank you for watching. Oh, turn the volume off. Anyone on YouTube, thank you for watching. Anyone on Twitch, please come with me across to watch Margot Simone Art. So /raid. I've just got to go onto my other computer to do this. Margot, how do I spell it? Margot Simone Art. /raid. That way we take our chat with us. I'm hoping this works. So anyone on Twitch, come with me. She's awesome. Okie doke. I hope that worked. Did it work? Okay, I'll see you over there, peeps.